Hello and welcome into today's Blessed Review here on Luntha TV. Remember, this is the program that will give you some of the major stories appearing into the country's major publications, that is the Nation newspaper and the Daily Times. And today, on the 22nd of December, I should say, and Christmas is just a few days away, and you're with me, Andrew Permanent. A first look of what's in the Nation newspaper. Don't give up, Chakwera tells Malawians, and part of the story reads, President Lazarus Chakwera has called on Malawians not to give up on the possibility of defeating poverty and other challenges that the country is facing. He made the call yesterday in Lilongwe when he led the nation in observing an Inter-Domination Nation Day of Prayer. In a brief speech, Chakwera acknowledged that Malawi is in great distress, but urged citizens to remain positive and hopeful that the nation can surmount the challenges.
Alright, there is a similar story which appears on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper, and it also has a similar headline, "Do not give up," and that's from Chakwera. Since you've just highlighted some of the key points in the story, I will not go through that story, but suffice to say, the president yesterday led many Malawians into International Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving.
Inter-denomination Day of Prayer.
Yeah, and as we should say, that came in the light of corruption scandals, economic woes, and also some of the healthy challenges we are facing in the country. So the president was telling Malawians, he was telling us not to give up, saying there is hope, God will do what he has done to other countries. Yes, of course, that's the truth on the ground, and that's the true nature of the God we praise. But then, looking at what we are facing in Malawi, some of the problems, yes, they just have to be there, but there are some problems which are being created by these officials. For instance, the president and some officials at the back benches, they have made some decisions that have led us into some of the economic challenges we are facing right now. For instance, there is issue of corruption. There's Luntha corruption scandal. There is an issue of AIP scandal. As we are talking, AIP is being implemented in various districts in the country, but there are some concerns that people are really facing challenges. They are talking about internet challenges and network challenges rather, and also some are being asked to pay 500,000 kwacha extra to the 15,000 kwacha which was set aside for AIP, so that they should purchase the commodity. So it seems like, yes, we will never give up, we won't give up. But please, as we hold that flag that we will never give up, we need our duty bearers to act in accordance to what the law says, to what good governance indicators state.
Is it not like we are testing God, like seeing those at the top? Many problems we are facing right now, I can say that they are man-made.
Yeah.
And somehow I see like God is punishing us.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, for the choices which our leaders are making.
Yeah, we can construe that our choices, the choices which these leaders are making, most of them are dangerous. And we are the ones who are prone to the effects of such decisions. So, as you've rightly put it, that some of these problems we are facing, they are man-made. They have been created by people who we trusted to rule this country. So, to turn back to God and say, please God, we need this, we need this. Yes, that's what we are supposed to do as a country. We need to ask for God's guidance. But we also have to know that once God provides us with something we asked for, we need to utilize it in an effective way, so that we won't go back again and say, praise Lord, you gave us this thing and we did not use it appropriately, so now we want this once more.
Don't you think like prayer without action is just nothing?
Yes.
We might ask God atitandize muyabuyabu, yet on the ground as a country ngati mzika komanso adindo, we are doing contrary to what we are asking God. Don't you think that will just add up like the love of God pa mtundu wa Malawi tukumupempha kuti ayi mutipangire ijambuye, then kupezeka kumbali achanali posogolera mapemphero aja tukamva kuti ayitu akulu ampingo amazembesa bill parliament, ayi akulu ampingo amafuna apeze contract mwachinyengo. Don't you think it's just a waste of time?
Yeah, and so most of the time, and you see these leaders, you see them in the local church repenting, and then next time you see them doing the same thing. So it's like because the Bible says if chimo becomes a habit, you can't say I nangula nadere komano ndinkaliro wabo. So you have to first you have to work on that with the habit joge. So this it's the same thing which is happening in Malawi with our leaders. It seems within the habit my decision to decision to. So if they do those decisions and then we need God's intervention, and they would have my decision akala all we go kaoka the majority yama decisions on my duty bearers. Yama decision and they would it's a habit.
Yeah.
So they can say, now we are going to pray for God's intervention, but my decision avoid, and there is no sense in that.
Yeah, and still on the front page of the national newspaper, there is a story, another interesting one. Long wait for 563 million Malekwacha AIP funds, and it has a sub-headline: UK firm Bacard Foods yet to respond to court summons, should not go further. The story is clear.
Yeah, the headline really tells us what's in the story, because I remember we were told that the Attorney General has gone to UK.
He went to Germany.
To collect the money which that Bacard Foods Limited duped the Ministry of Agriculture. So now we are still waiting for the Attorney General's response to say now we've managed to collect this amount of money.
The Attorney General has just recently said that if as a country we are not going to recover the money, he's going to resign. So
wow.
So Malawians,
we need such confidence.
Yeah, we are waiting. Maybe something good
will come out from that.
Yeah.
But it's a tradition that duty bearers pledge that we are going to resign should this not happen. And now it's the Attorney General. Remember, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera was once promised Malawians to step down should he not deliver in 2 years of his presidency. So now it's the Attorney General. He has pledged to resign should he not collect the money which was duped, which the government of Malawi was duped as the 750 million kwacha. So we look forward to that, but we should just say walk the talk. If you won't manage, then resign. Yes. We haven't forced him to resign. Yeah. It's his promise, his own promise. So we just want him to walk the talk. If you are not going to manage to retain the money, better resign.
Yeah. You have failed.
You have failed Malawians. Yeah. All right, another story which appears on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper says Ford Yeremia Chihana clash, and that's of course the headline. There is a sub-headline which says Ford questions Yeremia Chihana's association with Democratic Progressive Party, and partly the story says the Alliance for Democracy has disclosed that it is seeking legal opinion on lawmaker Yeremia Chihana's perceived association with the former governing Democratic Progressive Party. Chihana, who won an Ford ticket in Zimba North constituency, has been spotted at rallies organized by DPP President Peter Mutharika at Njamba Freedom Park in Luntha and recently in Mangochi district.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
wow.
That's Chihana for you.
That's Chihana. Yeah. You know, we've got a lot of politicians who we know that they just change sides. Once they see that there is fire this side, they go there. And once they see that this side is Rosing Malaro, and then they dump that party. So Yeremia Chihana's support is in the Tones Alliance.
But it is very rare in our country with many greedy politicians seeing
political prostitutes.
Yeah, seeing that someone moving away from the ruling side and going to the opposition. This should tell us something that things are not okay.
Yeah,
in the Tonse administration.
Of course, it's a clear indication that things are not well, are not within the walls in the Tonse Alliance administration. But what I'm seeing here is the fact that people dump their parties to other parties once they see that this party has lost morale. So I was thinking that maybe it's high time our politicians should see that this is what brings, they say that it seems like politicians belong to one family, belong to the same parents.
But
we say that because of their characters.
Is it okay when you see like things are not okay here? Maybe you are trying to tell your friends this is the way we should do things, but they are not like hearing you. Should you be like still there? Yet you have tried your best to make things right. I think this guy has been vocal in parliament and zimoneka kuti nthawi zambiri mwina anthu ena osakhala mbali yake.
And so
don't you think our kupanga associate mwina ndi DPP mina kuona kuti maybe I can have an impact?
And also I think that's we should say that's appropriate because Yeremia Chihana, yes, he has been vocal in parliament. Mostly he has opposed the government's legislators on certain bills that were tabled in parliament. So, and also on certain decisions. If you remember, he's the same man who brought evidence on the AIP issue, even though his evidence was turned down, but he's the same man who brought it. So we should say mwina ona kuti wabomaku and hakumusala chifukwa yoda kutsutsa. For last week it happened to the legislators UTM party. They voted for a certain bill in favor of the opposition. Yeah. So Congo, just after that happened, and basically they have been removed from my WhatsApp group, a government. You see? So it seems that Yeremia Chihana kungotsutsa kamozi boma langu izanwa tonse ndekuti iwewo ndi ndani. sizotengera kuti ukhala otsutsa kangati koma ukangotsutsa kamodzi, once you've just criticized a certain decision by those people, they automatically see you as an enemy.
Yeah. And moving on to the business section of the Nation newspaper, World Bank speaks on forex measure, and it has a sub-headline, says there are several options for boosting forex reserves. The World Bank says the mandatory sale of export proceeds reintroduced by the Reserve Bank of Malawi (RBM) in August 2021 should be phased out as soon as microeconomic situation improves. RBM introduced the mandatory sale of export proceeds in a bid to ensure foreign exchange availability in the country. Under the provision, all exporters are required to sell a minimum of 30% of their export proceeds to authorized dealer banks, ADBs, while retaining 70% of the foreign proceeds in their foreign currency denominated accounts, FCDRs.
Well, we've spoken about that a number of times, that Malawi, we shouldn't just rely on IMF to get forex. There are certain ways we can use to obtain forex in other countries.
Yeah.
So that's part of what we've been saying, that the World Bank has told the government of Malawi that there are certain measures we can put in place to make sure that there is forex in the country. So why not implementing that? Because those World Bank experts, they really know how to obtain forex, because they are experts in that field. So we should just, there is nothing we can comment on that other than saying Malawi should adapt to the measures which the World Bank has stated in that article.
Yeah.
All right, on the business page, on one of the business pages in the Daily Times newspaper, Malawi 2063 taken to communities, and that's of course the headline. Partly the story says National Initiative for Civic Education, Nice Trust, is reaching out to communities, creating awareness on Malawi's long-term development blueprint, the Malawi 2063 vision. Nice Lilongwe District Civic Education Officer Hajira Ali said there is a need for Malawians to own the development agenda and contribute towards its realization. Ali was speaking at Mbingwa during a recent meeting Nice organized to raise awareness on principles of democracy and Malawi 2063. All right.
That is a way to go.
Yeah, that's a way to go, because mostly the Malawi 2063 vision has been within the public service.
Yeah, I should say more like it was about urban people, not like those in rural areas. So everyone should be engaged in order for us as a country to move together. The other section of people shouldn't be left behind. Yeah.
All right, and a call on that would be let their opinions be taken into account.
Yeah.
Because if they provide a certain way, for instance, if you ask them about what the 2063 vision talks about agriculture, and if they propose some of the ways to improve our agricultural sector, I think that's the way to go. You should implement what those people are saying. Their opinions should be taken into account if you want to achieve the 2063 vision.
Yeah, let me have the last one in the business section of the Nation newspaper. Maize prices rising steadily, now at 27,000 kwacha per bag. Consumers are still digging deeper in their pockets to afford a kg of maize, which is fetching as much as 543 kwacha in some produce markets. This translates to 27,150 per 50 kg bag, an amount out of reach of a majority of consumers earning a minimum of 50,000 kwacha per month.
Where is the Ministry of Agriculture? Because I remember they are the same people who set prices for agriculture produce.
Yeah, now AdMatch is in operation. At least something should be done quickly. We are saying of someone order Malandira maybe 50,000 per mwezi.
Per mwezi and 27,000 per bag.
Yeah.
That means angokula bagi yakushigayo
maybe alindia anobira ku school other responsibilities aona yibali ndekuti moyo ndi jamati moto pansi pamwamba
mwachigumbu chifukwa ndizovuta zinthu zikukwera mtengo tsiku ndi tsiku, and we cannot run away from the recent 25% devaluation. Now tukamba za chimanga kuti chakweraso mtengo zovuta kwambiri.
And moving quickly to the back page of the Nation newspaper, that is the sports section. Another test for Bingu Stadium as inspection looms ahead of Egypt match. Minister of Youth and Sports says it is confident that Bingu National Stadium, BNS, will pass the test to host the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON qualifier between the Frames and Egypt next March.
Alright, in another test, we just hope that the Bingu Stadium will make it.
Yeah, but looking at this, as a country, I think we are not serious. We shouldn't be like worried whenever inspectors are coming to inspect our stadiums.
Yeah, for me, I was expecting that they will have hope. They will place hope in us that Malawi is capable of hosting such matches. And we are going to see the CAF people coming back to Malawi to inspect our stadium and whether it's really fit for those kind of matches.
But recently we just hosted like the Region 5 games. Maybe Pajangu Malawi. Zambiri zimathojitika in a day. Mukapeza kuti
kwadzadza udzu, mukapeza kuti zinthu zachoka.
Mene kamvula kanguyamba chonjino. Mukapeza kuti livadimba la nzimbe pakalipa.
I think they know mwina masiku amene akubwera anthu amene who are responsible to take care of the ground. So I just hope that they will put in much effort to see that Bingu International Stadium is recognized because of Banga host matches.
Before we wrap up, we should have just one story in the arts and culture section.
Alright, on arts and culture in the Daily Times newspaper, there appears writers, body challenges creatives, and that's of course the headline with part of the story saying creatives have been dared to open conversation lines that would help bring about solutions in the development of the country. The call was made on Tuesday through preparations during a day-long Pen Malawi symposium held at FCB Training Center in Luntha under the theme Contemporary Ills, Challenges and Catastrophes in the Global Arena and Human Take in Malawi. Right. It's high time we need to recognize the writing sector. In the entertainment industry, what we focus is on music. We focus on music much than the writing, the poets. There are poets, there are videographers, there are music producers, and there are a lot of people who are such, they have talent. And they should also be recognized.
Even those Ojambul, for someone, let's say, Walemba book, Pafunika Winawagi,
Ajambul and the cover page.
Yeah,
and to Among one ndizinthu zoti zimakhudza anthu ambiri. You see, for a book ngati newspaper ngati iyi kuti ituluke, there was a designer who designed mmene zinthu zikuyenera kuonekera, and also osaiwala kuti there was someone amene anatenga chithunzichi. And on top of that, he edited the picture.
Yeah, so it's high time maybe as a country we should embrace like the spirit of teamwork. Zimavuta kwambiri kuona kuti yemweyo akuti ndi director, yemweyo producer, kuti bwanji ntchitozi osagawira bwera nkhani yake mwina kufuna ndalamazo mwina zikabwera kufuna kudya weka. At the end sumatulusa chinthu chabwino. Tikaona mina maiko anza tumaona kuti it takes a team like to produce something good,
and everyone is recognized. Minimum. Once you see, for instance, if they say Mr. Andrew Paundi has released a book, people will only see Mr. Andrew Paundi when they see the book. Chifukwa chonena zokuti munthu uja angodziwa kuti ntchito ya buku warutsa Andrew zoti kunali editor wa script sakudziwa,
the ones who are proofreading
the book sakudziwa zoti analiko. If they say kunali munthu wina wake mwina amene amangonetsetsa kuti alembe manambala ndi luso limene licha, koma we don't recognize them. So it's high time as a country we need to recognize for a single artistic thing to be produced, there are a lot of people who work on that thing. So to end that, it's recognize malingana nature.
Yeah, and that is how we have wrapped up today's edition of Place Review here on Luntha TV. Remember, we are into the festive season. Zambiri zimajitika antu ndalama timaraya nyengo yake mene even kudaya somoyo. So kwa mene mwina tikuenda pa mseu ngati timatenga chakumwa amati don't drink and drive. Ngati mukupita kuzisangalalo onesesani kuti mwina mwatenga munthu amene amamwa zosekemera kuti inu kumene kujazika kachitika and amene angathiwa kuyendesani kufikizani kuti kunyumba mwinaso mayendedwe tonesese kuti kodi njira zimene tikuyenda ndizotetezeka tipewe mwina kudusa njira zamadulira nyengo ngati noyi zambiri zimatani zimachitika.
Take care
and keep on watching the rest of our programs. Goodbye for now.